Yes, this is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As the Democratic race between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders heats up ahead of the California primary on June 7th, we turn to look at Hillary Clinton's ties to Goldman Sachs. The Wall Street giant paid Clinton $675,000 in 2013 to give 3 speeches. But so far, Hillary Clinton has rejected calls to release the speech transcripts. Well, now questions have come up about ties between Goldman Sachs and another member of the Clinton family, Hillary's son-in-law, Mark Mezvinsky. He worked at Goldman for 8 years, then formed a hedge fund, in part with help from Goldman CEO Lloyd Blankfein. During a San Francisco campaign rally last Thursday, Lee Fang of The Intercept tried to ask Hillary Clinton about this.
Hi, Secretary Clinton. Do you know how much money Lloyd Blankfein invested in your son-in-law's hedge fund? Secretary Clinton, how much did Lloyd Blankfein invest in your son-in-law's hedge fund? Why don't you respond? Secretary Clinton. Quick question about Eagle Vale Partners. Secretary Clinton, question about your son-in-law's hedge fund. Secretary Clinton.
How are you?
Hey, how's it going?
What's your name?
Lee Fang.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm her spokesperson.
Hey, how's it going?
What are you trying to find out more about?
I want to know how much money Lloyd Blankfein invested in Mark Mezvinsky's hedge fund. Do you know how much money, Nick? Nick, do you know how much money Lloyd Blankfein invested in?
I don't know. Has it been reported?
No, it hasn't. Do you know that? Could you find out the amount for me?
I don't know what the amount is.
What?
You want to give me your contact information?
Sure, yeah, stay here. I'll give you my card. So you're going to find out the answer here, right?
What?
You're going to get back to me?
I'm going to email you.
Thank you.
That was Intercept reporter Lee Fang questioning Hillary Clinton and her press secretary, Nick Merrill, at a campaign rally last Thursday. Lee Fang was also the first reporter to ask Clinton to release the transcripts of her speeches to Goldman Sachs earlier this year. So we're going straight to Lee Fang, investigative journalist at The Intercept, covering the intersection of money and politics. Again, your recent piece headlined, Hillary Clinton won't say how much Goldman Sachs CEO invested with her son-in-law. Welcome back to Democracy Now! Lay out what you're trying to find out, Lee.
Hi, Amy. Good morning. Thank you for having me. In 2010, Mark Mezvinsky married Chelsea Clinton. The following year, in 2011, he began fundraising for his hedge fund. Reportedly, Lloyd Blankfein, the chief executive of Goldman Sachs, personally invested in this fund. He also allowed his association with this fund to be used in its marketing materials. So he's a big reason why Eagle Vale Partners, the hedge fund founded by Mark Mezvinsky, was able to raise close to $400 million. Unfortunately, that wasn't particularly a savvy business decision. The fund, according to the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, has underperformed, and one subordinate fund created by Mark Mezvinsky lost 90% of its investors' money and had to shut down earlier this month. Basically, they made bad bets on the Greek economy recovering. So we've been pressing the campaign to understand the full relationship between Goldman Sachs and the Clinton family. We've asked not only about the Goldman Sachs transcripts, but as you pointed out, Hillary Clinton personally has made over $600,000 in paid speaking fees to Goldman Sachs. Bill Clinton has made more than $1.5 million in paid speaking fees. Goldman Sachs has given up to $500,000 to the Clinton Foundation. So we're trying to press the campaign to really release the full relationship between Goldman Sachs and the Clinton family. And that includes how much money has transferred between Goldman Sachs and its executives to the Clinton family bank accounts and their businesses.
You also talk about how Goldman Sachs directly lobbied Hillary Clinton's State Department, the company routinely partnering with the Clinton Foundation at this time.
Yeah, that's right. You know, Goldman Sachs is no ordinary company, right? This is a very powerful investment bank that has historically won influence in many different administrations. Of course, in the George Bush administration, Bush appointed former Goldman Sachs CEO Hank Paulson as his Treasury Secretary. Paulson was one of the primary architects of the bank bailouts. Over the last 8 years, we've seen Goldman Sachs aggressively lobby the Obama administration, seeking influence over financial reform, the Volcker Rule, Dodd-Frank, and of course we'll expect Goldman Sachs to try to win influence with whoever is the next occupant of the White House. So this isn't just a random company. This is a bank with a lot of political interests involved.